and welcome to our final episode of our Super Bowl segment for the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, we're gonna get a little bit personal here, but first we want to start off with the No Look Pass segment. So let's go ahead and hop right in. This is the No Look Pass, brought to you by tyreek-hill Music Solutions, providing everything from simple background audio to complex creative audio pieces. Bring your project to life with tyreek-hill Music Solutions. All right, this is No Look Pass. This is where Chris and I ask each other a question off the top of our head to test our football knowledge, and obviously we have some other scenarios that can fall right into that. Sometimes we really just like to look. It's all about football. We're gonna hop right into it. I don't want to waste any time. Chris, go ahead. What is your No Look Pass to me?
Okay, so aside from the stars, whose performance will be pivotal for the Chiefs to secure the win on Sunday?
Besides the stars. Okay, so, this is something that we touched base on already earlier. Something has been overlooked quite a bit. And we could talk about these set of guys all day long. But it's the Chiefs' offensive line. That is the key component. That is the skeleton in the closet, whatever you want to call it. That is going to be everything for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I guess I'd like to ask you what would be your answer to that question.
I absolutely have to agree with you there, but just to throw out another component, because I just does not get enough credit for what he does. Mike Pennell at D tackle. If he can help to solidify that D line and control the running game up the middle, I think it's going to be fantastic and really help out our defense to stop the Niners offense.
Hey, and that was just another key that was thrown in the Spags defense, and it's really worked out well. So yeah, hey, I'm with you on that one as well. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, your No Look Pass for this evening, and the Super Bowl edition. This is it, Chris. This is it for the season right here. This is our last episode before the Kansas City Chiefs take the field against the San Francisco 49ers Sunday here in Super Bowl 54. But Chris, what is the biggest? Okay, the bigger threat here. Who is going to win this matchup? D Ford or Mitchell Schwartz or excuse me, Eric. Dang it. What's our other ones? What's our other freaking
Eric Fisher.
Eric Fisher, yes. So who's going to win the battle between D Ford and his former teammates?
I kind of have to say that I'm leaning towards the offensive tackles simply because I don't see Ford having the ability to get to the quarterback on every single play. Is he going to make some plays? Yeah, sure. But is he going to get home to Mahomes 3-4 times in the game? I don't think so. I think that having gone against him for 3-4 years prior, I feel that Schwartz and Fisher know enough of him to feel comfortable enough to at least be able to control his ability to get at us from the edge.
And that's a perfect answer, and I'm with you on that one. I think that the Chiefs' offensive line will slight him in that respect, and just like they have, every major pass rusher, the offensive line has shut them down. So let's move on here, Chris, because you've made a comparison. Okay, before we get to that, I want to mention Crane Brewing Company and my friends over there. They're great people. I got to mention them one more time. Go check out the Champ Stamp Blonde Ale. It's actually a shout out to a Chiefs fan who got what they call the Champ Stamp tattoo, and part of the proceeds go to the 15 and Mahomes Foundation. So, okay, Chris, let's talk about a familiar game, a game that you think is going to be quite a lot like this Super Bowl coming up. I have a comparison myself, but you want to start out with the Rams game this last season. How much do you think this is going to be like this game coming up, and what are the likely comparisons?
So I definitely think that this is going to be a very similar game as the Rams game for this reason. Going into that game, the Rams had probably the most touted defense in the NFL last year. And they had a great front four. They had a great secondary. And everybody said, oh, this is going to be the team that's going to stop the Chiefs. They didn't stop us. And we ended up putting up 50-some-odd points against them. On the flip side, we couldn't stop them either.
Correct.
But we have a defense this year. And I feel that if we could go back in time and play that game with this team, we put up an additional 14 points, and we win by, I'd say, 28 points. I think that our defense is good enough now that they're going to be able to get some stops that our defenses in the past haven't been able to.
Correct.
And I think that we are going to be able to surprise a lot of people with just how good our defense really is. I think everybody in Chiefs Kingdom knows how good we are, as we've been watching every single game. But the rest of the nation who hasn't really been watching and paying attention and has only seen highlights of other teams' running backs running through our defense, especially earlier on in the season, have no idea how much we have morphed and changed and become a better team since, I believe it was week 10, week 11. And, it has me so excited going into this game on Sunday for that reason. Our offense is still the same.
Correct.
And I think that we're actually stronger on our offensive line than we were last year. And so I think that we are only going to put up a tremendous number tomorrow. Oh, let me say that again. We're capable of putting up a tremendous number on Sunday. And, I'm super excited to see how this game turns out, because it really is the best versus the next best.
Here's the deal. No matter how you want to put this on paper, because on paper it's an extremely, extremely close game. So I'll tell you this. If it's that close on paper, which it is, and if it's that close of a game, which it is, then there's only one player that truly, truly can take the reins and take control of this game and take it to another level, and that's our man Patrick Mahomes. That's our man Patrick Mahomes. He is the X factor in a game that's so evenly matched, because he's so much better than everybody else.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We definitely have them in spades at that position, whereas hypothetically everywhere else it's pretty close. There we've got them by good head and shoulders.
And that's my thing too. Is you put the Chiefs defense. The Chiefs defense is, I don't want to say just as good as San Francisco, but they're right there. They're right there with them. But it's more than enough to get Jimmy Garoppolo uncomfortable. That San Francisco defense is not enough to get Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable. The man has too much pocket presence. Way too much pocket presence, and it's great. He's a mad scientist there in the pocket, and it works out in the Chiefs' favor, obviously. And I think it's going to, Sunday as well. This is just a case of which player is going to be better at the position where it matters the most, and that's at quarterback. And how can you not take Patrick Mahomes?
Exactly.
So it also reminds me, look, we're kind of getting low on time here, and I'm going to just bring this up briefly, but it's also the hype behind the Super Bowl. It reminds me of the 2006 Rose Bowl, between Texas and USC, and what Jamal Charles played in that game. But we're talking some big time players that came out of that game, and this reminds me of that hype, and I look forward to this game. We're 48 hours away Chris, with the last 5 minutes here, because we're going on 5 minutes, I want to touch base here on what it means, to the both of us, for the Kansas City Chiefs to be in this position, and what it would really mean to you, for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl and on Sunday.
It's going to be a very emotional time. It's going to be hard to find the words right now, because looking back at the 2-14 seasons, the 3-13s, the 8-8s,
right?
The seasons where we were 14-2 and still couldn't get a win in the playoffs. All of the rough seasons that we've had, the bad losses, the letdowns, the disappointments. We finally have our shot, and win or lose on Sunday, I'm so proud to have watched this team this year and see how they fought through adversity and overcame their challenges. And win or lose, I'm not going to say that I'm going to be the same level of happy, but I'm still going to be happy for this team in the long run. This is going to be a moment that I'm never going to forget, because we literally watched them from preseason until the Super Bowl.
Come on.
And we knew that they had the ability all season long. It's been a fantastic ride. Great.
And I guess for me, being a lifelong fan, this is 35 years I waited for this, and ultimately in Chiefs Kingdom we've waited 50 years. I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm happy for the organization, all the prior players, that worked day and night. Everybody who's involved in this Chiefs organization, which is a class act. Everyone deserves it. The fans, Coach Reid, everybody. It's top to bottom a classy organization, and I'm happy that we finally are represented in the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl 54. 2020. This is something that Kansas City will never, ever forget. And this has been an iconic week. We're sitting here Friday, 48 hours before the game. It's almost here, Kansas City. All this anxiety and buildup. We have one more day, basically. It's almost Friday's almost over, and we have one more day. Let's enjoy that. Embrace this. You never know what happens. You never know, if you'll get to this pinnacle again. So just enjoy it, Kansas City. This is what it's all about right here, and we finally have that feeling. So, Chris, I have to ask you. I have this Derek Thomas sweater. It's a 1997 divisional sweater of the Chiefs. Sweeping the division, and we were ultimately favored to be in the Super Bowl. And it has Derek Thomas and Marcus Allen on it. Should I wear that sweater on Sunday, or should I stick with my Patrick-Mahomes jersey?
Honestly, I would probably wear the sweater to whatever venue you're going to, and I would definitely have the Mahomes jersey underneath.
There we are.
Because that way you are bringing the past and the present along with you to this game.
Hey, I love it. We're running on 1 minute here, so really quickly, predictions. My prediction, I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to run away a little bit more than people think they are, and I'm going with the Chiefs 44 and the 49ers 24. Chris?
38-27, Kansas City with the win.
Good deal. Hey, obviously got Kansas City sealed with a victory. Chris, I want to say real quick, it's been a pleasure this whole season, announcing Chiefs football and talking about what we love the most. Thank you so much. This is it, Chris. Until the Super Bowl, it's up to the Chiefs now. It's up to the Chiefs. Chris, it was a pleasure.
Likewise to you and to everybody who's been listening. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, look, Kansas City, that is going to wrap up our season here. Hey, in 48 short hours, the Kansas City Chiefs will take on the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 54. Kansas City, get up and get excited. This is 50 long years of waiting. We have a lot to look forward to, but embrace this moment right here because the fun has just begun. Just handle business, Kansas City. Thank you for tuning in.